Hi everyone, it's Anka, and like I promised in my previous video, I am back today to share how I made this cute little needle and supply book. And I also shared this in my previous video, but I will share it again. So it's tiny, it's almost 4 inches high, and I think it was well, almost 3 inches wide. So let's open it up like this. I had several scraps of fabrics, and they were approximately the same size, so I picked up one of these, and this was from an old curtain, and I kept the length. Here you see it goes, let me just take out, I have a scissor inside this pocket here. This little flap here is where this fabric ends. So what I did, I layered these, and then can you see those tiny stitches? I just hand stitched all around this here. And as I also said yesterday, or in my previous video, that there will be a giveaway, so make sure to watch to the end. So I stitched all around these sides, and then I have this inside, and this here is just some I think it was from a scarf, a silk scarf, and that piece also fitted quite well. And I have a piece of sari silk. It has some tiny little spots, but I didn't care. It is vintage, so I matched it up as good as I could, trimmed it to fit. It's a little bit smaller in height than my base here. But then, you see, I stitched all 3 sides so that I have a pocket here on the top, and I also added, just for fun, some beads in the corners here on both sides. So I have pockets, and inside this was an earring. I keep just tiny little things. Here we have some vintage buttons, and here I have some more vintage buttons. They are some snaps like this, just so I can have for any projects, or you can use them in paper crafting as well. So then I had 2 bases, the cover and an inside pocket. So I just cut this to fit, very easy. And then I have this piece from sari silk as well, like this, and I found the middle and wrapped it around, and then I stitched pamphlet stitch, 5 link stitch. Can possibly be good enough with 3, but because it's a pocket and I wanted to separate it, I used 5 stitches. So now I suddenly have a little book, tiny little book. And then this here, it was from a curtain band that wraps around the curtains, a long strip of this double layered, and one side of it was this decorated edge, so I just stitched around the same way here. So I cut it here, so I had to stitch that opening so it makes another pocket both on the back and on the front. And then I decorated with some of my handmade flowers. So here I have somewhere this is the other end of that strip. So in this case it's not necessary to stitch the bottom because that's already stitched, but then you can just stitch it on here. You will have this little flap as you see here. I just added a scrap piece of lace and wrapped it around so it goes over my front cover fabric here. And I have some different ones that this was from a garment of some sort, so it has the inside lining, so it can be just stitched and cut to size, of course, and wrapped around like this. Or for example this lace fabric, wrap it around, and then I just decorated with some, this is just pinned on a little doily and some bows up here, and I also attached with this a couple of other pieces of this sari silk, and here I have a tea bag attached with a pin, and inside I have different colored threads and a needle threaded and a couple of more vintage buttons. And then I had this little scrap of fabric. So I was just playing. I was starting to stitch this and didn't quite have a plan. And as I stitched, and suddenly it came to me that I wanted to make one of these little needle books with scraps. So here you can see this. It's folded almost like I was thinking when I do paper crafting. If you have a small piece of paper, you fold it and make flips and flaps, you know. So same thought process with these fabrics. So I just folded it here and stitched. Here I have used a lot of beads in my stitching. So when this is stitched down, you have a little flap here like this, and then I had this scrap piece of fabric, so I attached that below and stitched it on with some colored thread and more beads. So if I need beads for my crafting, I can just cut them off and you know, attach these later. And then I have my beloved vintage buttons, and these were something I had laying around. It's made from this, but I used Tim Holtz die to cut out those flowers, and I just stitched right through both buttons at the same time. Here you can see the thread between them. And to keep this closed, I just added a little bit of a little needle. So it won't just flip and flap around with those heavy buttons like this. And I attached my favorite needle, and I will attach more needles I only have one needle and these little stick pins and some lace inside. Some of this just attached inside here, and a little tea bag, and that was it. It was so easy. So this folds like this. I also attached a vintage brooch for fun, and maybe that can be used in a project too. And in the end I stitched on this beautiful glass vintage button, and one of these just wraps around as a closure. It was so easy, and I did this while watching TV, sitting in my couch, and also I stitched around with tiny little stitches to attach this after I have bound the book. But it's no problem because you have several layers of fabrics. It won't show through if you are careful with how you place your needle, so it doesn't go through both layers, so you can't see those tiny stitches. So it's attached, and I love my bling. But I still want to make a pretty needle book with beautiful laces and such. But this was just because I found those scraps and wanted to be a little bit creative and have some fun. So this is just knotted around that button here, and then you just wrap it around like this. And now to the giveaway. So if you want to make your own little needle book, I have all the supplies that I have used, that one of you, if you want to make it, then you can win this. So you can make the same book as me, or something else that you might like to use these fabric scraps for. And see, it's not I don't have all the same things, but very similar things, and I won't send scissors and needles through the mail. So what it includes are all those things here, the bag of some bows that I made, and some beads that I have used, and a few just appliques that you can cut out these tiny and make like doilies, make little flowers like I have done here. I think they are super cute with only a small little button in the middle, and some cutouts, tiny doilies that you can use to decorate or in other projects, and some ribbon to wrap around, and then all sorts of different threads that you can use. This is from Tim Holtz ticket book. The tickets are attached here. I save these because I think they are usable for so many things. In journals too, you can attach all sorts of charms and fun stuff here. So I threaded threads for you here, and the last thing is a tea bag with buttons that I think will match these colors. Some are new, some are vintage, colorful. So, or you can use your own buttons, of course, but here is a variation. And that's it. This will be shipped flat like this, just to keep the postage cost down. And this is open for all my subscribers, wherever you live. Of course I will ship to you, and let's leave it open until February 12th. It's a Sunday, and then I will do a draw, and all you have to do is be 18 years or older. You have to like this video and be a subscriber, a visual one, so I can see that you are subscribed to my channel, and you have to make a comment, and in your comment you have to let me know that you would like to be entered, so that I will include you in the drawing. And that was it for today's video. So thank you so much for stopping by, and I hope you are all doing well. Bye bye.